It's time to review the team placement predictions I created for MCC the Copper Crown. Spoiler alert, I was wrong with a lot of them. The team that actually got 10th was Yellow, but I had Lime in that slot. Even though Meltdown was the first game, I didn't expect Lime to cook. Their round 2 was executed beautifully. The team that ended the event in 9th was Red, but I had Blue in that spot. I was right about Red struggling in Railroad Rush and Grid Runners though. The two newcomers on this team were big unknowns, and they unfortunately ended the event in bottom 10. Aqua ended the event in 8th place. I overrated this team heavily. Aqua didn't do great in the latter half of games, which hurt them a lot because of the higher multiplier. It was so heartbreaking to see them barely not finish Grid Runners. I'll talk more about the Grid Runners rooms at the end of this video, but if they just had one more second, they would have made it. Lime finished the event in 7th place. I had Cyan in that spot in my predictions. I wasn't too far off with Cyan's prediction though, which you'll see in a bit. Lime just didn't do well after the second game, which dropped their placement to where they ended up. I'm still happy they got to prove most people wrong in Meltdown though. Green ended the event in 6th, and I actually got this one right. After making my team placement predictions video, I thought I was underestimating how well they would perform, but clearly I wasn't. Tubbo actually top fragged his team over Sleepy, with Tubbo getting 14th individual and Sleepy getting 19th. Cyan ended the event in 5th, and I had Red in that position. I was right about the Pete and Captain duo being strong-ish. I had Pete high up in my individual top 10 prediction, but I didn't expect him to get 2nd place, or even tie with Purple for 2nd place for that matter. Clearly it doesn't matter if Pete doesn't play for a bit, because he can still be just as strong. The team that finished the event in 4th was Blue. As you heard earlier, I had Aqua in that spot. Blue was just a middle-of-the-pack team after the second game. I was surprised by their pop-off in survival games, and they basically rode that wave until the end. The team that ended in 3rd place was Orange. I totally thought Purple would end up in 3rd instead of them. I made a whole video as to how Orange could make it to Dodgeball, but there was one factor that would ultimately stop them: the game order. I don't think most people voted for Meltdown early specifically to screw over Orange, just that Meltdown is always a 50-50 game. Be real with me for a second. Did you expect Lime to get 1st place in Meltdown, or even win a round? I've already said it, but I didn't think they could, but it was amazing to see them perform that well. Anyways, Orange did great in the first 2 games, met in the middle 2, and then great again in the last 2, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to beat out Purple. Speaking of Purple, they ended up in 2nd. The gap between 2nd and 3rd wasn't as close as I thought it would be. I thought it was pretty clear after RSR that Orange wouldn't be able to make up the gap, but it was still pretty intense to watch, and it got my heart pounding, especially since Orange got 1st in Grid Runners, and they got 1st by a lot. I'd love to see SK in future MCCs, I just don't know who she would team with. I think her teaming with 5-Up again is out of the question, but it'll be interesting to see how she's balanced. After all, SK top fragged her team in 4th place, with the predicted top frag in 5-Up ending up in 6th place individually. Finally, in 1st place is Pink. The gap between 1st and 2nd place was only 40 coins, but I'm glad Pink was able to hold on to their position. After the first game, they were in 10th, aka dead last. After an amazing 1st place performance in Railroad Rush though, they were pushed up to 4th. After survival games, they were never knocked out of 1st place, even after Purple beat them by about 840 coins in Grid Runners. I don't know if Green plans on being a regular MCC participant, but I think his situation is comparable to Etho. Both players learned, studied, and practiced a lot. I'd love to see them on the same team eventually, maybe with Pete and Cub as the other 2 team members. Going back to Grid Runners, I thought the player skill mechanic was neat, but the rooms were a bit too challenging. It came down to the wire from multiple teams, and it was hard watching them struggle finding the levers in the 7th room. Also, Nox Crew hiding a lever above their head is dirty work, albeit it is a bit funny. That's my review of the team placement predictions that I created for MCC the Copper Crown. If you want to see more content about this event, I just uploaded my top 10 plays video. Have a great time zone, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!